Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The longtime Raider, Sebastian Janikowski of the Seahawks now to get us started. And off we go from Seattle. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The young right-handed QB Patrick Mahomes bringing out the KC Chiefs, who are at 6-1. And stop me if you've heard this from before, CD. Another big game in Week 7 for Patrick Mahomes. 358 yards, 4 more touchdowns, his 6th straight game with 300 or more yards.
And I have to keep telling myself how young he is. You say they're 6-1, right? So that's 7 starts for him this season, 1 start last year. He's 8 starts into his NFL season. And we expect this week in and week out. 22 touchdown passes through the first 8 games of his career, and that breaks the NFL record previously held by Kurt Warner. And I loved him at the post-game press conference after the Cincinnati win, wearing his dad's New York Mets jersey that he wore in the World Series for the Mets as we get ready for the World Series between Boston and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damien Williams. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense. Quarterback
Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. We take a closer look at Russell Wilson, the Pro Bowl quarterback in his 7th season out of Wisconsin.
So knowing the style of offense that Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. Now the rookie first rounder from San Diego State, it's Rashad Penny. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 63 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Kansas City sitting at 6-1, and they got to 6-1 in very convincing fashion with that 35-point win over the then 4-2 Bengals, a team that they'd lost 4 straight to going into that Sunday night affair. But Kansas City's rolling. This is a potential Super Bowl team, right?
It certainly is, and this team went 5-0 last year, then lost 6 of their next 7. I don't think they're in danger of doing that. I know people look at their defense and think, that's the weak link. But remember, they have pass rushers. That's always big because you can slow down a team that way. They take the ball away from people. They've been opportunistic over the years. So I think that, like Atlanta a couple years ago going to the Super Bowl with a subpar defense, this team can do the same. And last year's Super Bowl was decided by a defensive play when the score was 38-33. You just need one in a big ball game, and Kansas City has the guys who can get it for them.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. And you look at the numbers, not only has he not caught a pass, they haven't targeted him yet, and we're coming up toward halftime.
And you remember our meeting with the coach beforehand? What did he tell us about him? I write his number on my play sheet, and I circle it in bold type because I want to make sure he gets the ball and often.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count
Still
got
first
him there?
down.
Yeah, maybe that extra you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the... And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Going deep here for Watkins. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down. They're just 1 yard.
Here we go now.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Returnable for Lockett. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he is out up around the 15-yard line. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Tyler Lockett now with the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, Wilson. And Lockett with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Daminous, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. It's complete to Chris Conley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Mahomes now on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. He'll look to throw. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. He's back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Kelsey, the intended receiver there.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run again with Carson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Comes Kansas City. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Back to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Give him 13 yards there at a Kansas City first down. And the spike comes here, and that stops the clock at 25 seconds. Mahomes to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw. Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
To throw is Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 90.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
Snap count threw the defense off. 5-yard penalty.
Still first down.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Watkins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Now one more shot at it. Obviously, again, they've got to go for the end zone.
Well, we've seen it happen before. How about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career? He seems to pull it off about every other week. But if I'm the defense, I'm rushing the quarterback and making him move away from his throwing arm. That makes it a little bit tougher to get it downfield.
One final try from Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.